This is not the first time that I've been wrong, but I have been wrong, or I've misled, perhaps. And I need to set this straight. Jack of all trades. There is a case to be made for this, and I'm going to go through that. There is a case to be a jack of all trades. There is. I am a very specialised photographer. I live in the UK. I live and work near London, or in London, actually, I work. My agent's in London, my producer's in London, the art buyers are in London, everything's in London. I'm close to it. I can go there and I can do that. There's a great industry in being a specialist with a style in this country. If you live in Egypt, Belgium, South Africa, Iceland, really anywhere, to be honest, not so easy. Now, that's not to say it's impossible. You can absolutely have the same career as I have, but living far away from London or New York, and a secondary, Paris, Madrid, Barcelona, it means you have to be so good, that people don't mind that extra hassle of you not being near here. So good that people are like, yeah, do you know what, we have to fly him in from Egypt, but it's worth it. That is a level of competence that I don't have. If I lived in the back end of nowhere, I would not be able to have the career I have today, which is fine. But there are alternatives. There are like massive parts of America you can't do this. Because although you're in America, America's like the size of Europe. It's huge. And like, unless you're in New York, or maybe if you're a talent photographer in LA, and perhaps little bits in San Francisco, you're kind of out of luck. So you can be a bit more of a jack of all trades. You can be a bit more broad in what you do, but, and this is where I want to make sure there's no confusion. Instead of having a set niche or style in terms of a photographic thing, it needs to be in the service. You have to have a niche in the problem you fix. Because it's not like you can suddenly go, well, I do weddings, portraits, business portraits, personal portraits, family portraits, Christmas cards, corporate headshots. Like, if you start doing that, you'll still struggle to get work. But once you can get to a point where you go, well, look, I don't live in these places. I do a bit of everything, but here's what I do. I solve a problem for small businesses. I help them tell their story. And that's the portraiture, documentary, and product work. But my thing is, I help you tell the story of your business. Now, maybe it's not as jack of all trades as you think I was going to say, but that is way broader than the scope of what I do. And because of this, you could be shooting for a bank, a drinks company, a cafe, a coffee roasters, a ceramicist. Is that a word? Ceramicist? Ceramicist. Ceramic maker. If it's not a word, it should be. Ceramicist is a cool sounding word. A lot of to go in there. But that can be how you do it. And yes, it's not me going, well, I do bold and graphic work for food and drink. That is really niche and really specialist. And I don't live in London, and I wouldn't recommend you trying to do that if you don't live in London. It's very hard. I'm not saying it's impossible. Obviously, it's not. I've done it. But I can't tell you how I've done it because I don't really know. I've kind of lucked out somehow. And I've broken the M25 barrier. But for the rest of us, and myself included, if I was starting again today, that is a way to do it. If I wanted to be a Leicester photographer, I would need to have a problem I fixed. Could I be that events guy? I'm the guy they bring into events. I do all the event shooting for them because I'm able to do exactly what they need, deliver it in a certain way, on a certain price point, and be very easy to deal with. Like, there are all these things in it. And that events work could also double up as headshot work, corporate work, interior work, and you're working with those businesses and you understand their needs, their budgets, and therefore what your overheads need to be, and the language you use, and the marketing you need to do. You can't go and do everything, for sure. You can't literally be a jack of all trades, but you can be broader than I've suggested. And I was wrong in suggesting it like that. As you can see, I work by myself. I'm in here all the time by myself. I focus on what I do. I'm very self-centered and selfish. I have to be. It's how I achieve what I do in my job, but it's not the only way. And if I've misled you, I apologize. Hopefully this information here will just help, explain the full story, because I'm very, YouTube's a nightmare. You have to make a 5-minute video and get a point across. I can't give you every single answer and exit strategy here, but here is one. Here's a great way that you can do it if you don't live in these places. And I hope it's of use to you. And let me know below how you're going to implement it. I'd love to hear, I'd love to see. See you soon. Bye-bye.